Hello and welcome to Jabberjaw. I'm your host, Jessica Dawson Collier, and with me, as always, is Tyson Wheeler Dynas and Matthew David Smith. Guys, welcome. Tyson is having some trouble with
Uh,
some fingerless gloves right
I'm
now.
putting
So,
I'm putting on my podcasting gloves. It's true. They're like driver's gloves. Uh,
it's
yes,
cold, people. It's
I'm
cold.
good. It is. It is fucking. This side of my house is not insulated at all, so it's cold in here.
It
And
is. And it's also a new year. Happy New Year, fellas.
oh, happy New Year.
yeah, you
Yes.
too. You too. It's finally here.
When do we stop saying Happy New Year? I was asking one of my colleagues today, and she was like, say it until the end of the month, Jess. Who cares? It's like, all
Well,
right,
Um,
I will.
I'm assuming the rules for this are like you encounter someone that you otherwise have not prior to the New Year celebration. So I would give it like 10 days, maybe like up
yeah.
to January.
Okay.
Like it would feel weird, like on like it's like Kansas Day or something would be like a little late, I think, but a
Yeah,
little late in the
don't
month.
take
But
away from Kansas's
I
day.
don't know.
Yeah,
It
No.
I get
depends
it.
on it would depend on the relationship with the individual. Like my Schwann's man, for example. I might extend it out a few weeks, just depending
Right.
on.
Yeah.
I'd also
Yeah.
I would be reciprocate. Reciprocate too. So if somebody threw it out there, I'd even in March, I'd be like, "Happy New Year." I like your attitude.
Me too. I love it.
Oh, March is the second New Year of every year. So that's where you've decided to go back and retry your resolutions for the second time. Uh,
That's
Yes,
correct.
that's
Yes,
prime time for
yes.
that. How
March.
are your resolutions going so far, guys? Or do you have any?
I have some, but I mean, they're not
Yeah.
like, yeah, well, I mean, I have some. I sat around for most of the year last year. So walking the dogs and
That's a good one.
going
Yeah.
to the gym and, just making sure that like, I'm mobile and, I might even start Pilates. I might, that's because I have terrible balance. And I figured out that balance is the key to living a long life because most people die when they fall.
Yeah,
which is true.
it's
They
true.
fall and then they don't. Then somebody fucks up the treating them, and then a week later they're dead. Happens to people all the time. I mean, older people, right?
Older people, yes.
Yeah, not maybe me. If I fell, I'd probably make it through the week. But like So anyway, yeah, and that, and just I'm working on trying to do new music. So those are my two things. How about you guys?
I like it. Smith,
I
any?
have such a smorgasbord of like two improved personal items that it's just might as well pick one out of a bucket every day and just not do it. Uh, but
Here's a new one. That looks good. Next.
no. It's just kind of things like trying to eat better this year, trying to practice guitar more. That was actually one I kind of had in my head even before Tyson mentioned it.
Hell
I'm
yeah.
gonna
He
get
likes it.
it's
Look at
not
him
it's,
light up when you said that, Smith. That's great.
I know, and it's all so yeah, a lot riding on my shoulders this year, musically related. So we'll finally master those whatever we're supposed to master, and
Whatever that is.
whatever that guitar it is. Yes, yes, but yeah,
Matt's got
that's
nice. Matt actually has nicer gear than I do, and he's a total beginner. But that's
a nice. I have a nice guitar. I did overshoot on the guitar because I felt I would
it's a
I
hate to
think
beauty.
that's fine.
It's
I'd
a
hate to
Yeah.
beauty.
blame the cheap
What kind of
guitar.
guitar do you have? What are you working
Uh,
with?
it's a Fender Telecaster.
Oh shit.
The
All
that's
right.
the it's not like the
It's
I don't
not
know
the
Tyson.
it's
It's
not
not
the
like
American standard, but it's a nice telly.
it is a very nice yes foreign made Telecaster, but still several $100s. It's a nice guitar. I
Yeah.
need to do something other than look at it and gaze into rock stardom for
Now, to
15
be
minutes a
fair,
day.
I have a Gibson that's like worth $900. So I mean, I can't say that whatever.
Oof, those are nice.
But like most of my guitars are like, well, I don't throw guitars away, so you
That's
just
true.
pick them up as you go along.
You pick them up. I literally picked them up. John has picked up an Ibanez that somebody threw out by the trash, brand new. I was like, well, that resolution
Wow.
went
That,
away.
Yeah.
that Christmas gift. Apparently, some
Like
kid
it's
got that for
great. He
Christmas,
fixed
and
the
yeah,
back of it. He's playing with it now. So
that's
yeah,
fun.
yeah.
Yeah, no, that's quick. That's when you see a guitar out by a garbage can and it looks in good shape, that's a domestic dispute all the time,
Oh,
every
I'm
time.
sure. I'm sure that's probably true.
It is.
Yeah.
That's actually probably what happened.
Yeah, it's
We
like,
have a couple below us that probably
why the
put that
fuck did I
guitar
buy
there.
him that distortion pedal? God, motherfucking
Bullshit.
damn it!
Yeah.
I'll get rid of the guitar. He can't do anything with it. You know, So
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
fair.
yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. It's a sign that things are not great.
no,
Yeah,
it's not.
no.
How about you, Doss? Do you have a bucket of things to work on, or
I got a bucket. I got my own hat to pick resolutions out of. The ones for January are have a dry-ish January. Ooh, look at that thumbs
Yeah,
up.
very good.
And then dry-ish, I mean not having dry wine, actually not drinking alcohol during the week. So I am having a mocktail right now. This is day 2. I made it 3 days last week, so I'm getting there, guys. I'm going to try to do the Monday through Friday thing. I'm also limiting my snack intake past 9 p.m. I am a late
oh,
night snacker. I don't know if you guys are, but that has been a big problem with me and losing weight. So I'm trying to do that and fast. So those are my and just eat healthy again and get off the fucking nachos. Like I went on a nacho tear, Smith. You would have been proud of me over the holidays, but it was like every other day. What am I going to eat today? Nachos. John has actually ended up looking at me and he's like, "Are you okay? Like what's?" It's like they're delicious. It's everything I want to eat right
Right,
now.
right. And
So
I've always made the argument too that like depending like on where you're at, like you want to experience their nachos just for the fact that you've had their
totally
nachos.
agree with you.
Like,
Yes.
and so that I find myself in that, like, even it's almost like an obligation I don't always enjoy, but like I'm just like, you know what, that sounds better, but I think I have to have the nachos, and I've
yeah. Well,
refused.
I feel that same way. I think our family has a thing. It's queso and margaritas. We have to try that at every place we
Yeah.
go to.
Yeah,
Yes.
So
nice.
Yes.
at least
Yep.
once to see, you know,
Yeah.
you know.
No,
I mean,
I wasn't going to new places. I was going to old favorites, and I was like, they have great nachos, or their nachos. Maybe their nachos got better. I don't know. I'll try again.
Yeah,
We'll
yeah,
see. Yeah,
right.
it's fun. Also, another resolution is to work on some rebranding for us, and by us I mean Jabberjaw, and get our store fucking uh, online, which I had
yay.
some problems with this weekend. So, but I think I figured it out, and I should be sending you guys an update soon. But for the fans, we should have something going on by the end of this month. So,
Nice.
fingers crossed. TBD. Yeah, good stuff.
Very good. Well, those are
See
all.
random people wearing Jabberjaw shit. That's one of my goals for
Yeah,
this year.
that's gonna be. It's like hearing your song on the radio. Only
Right?
like,
Yep.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's amazing.
I guess we could theoretically increase the odds there and just hang out with the people we know and give them all Jabberjaw. But
That's
yeah,
true. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. But then
That's true.
when they don't wear it, I don't know. We'll see.
Judge them a little
Yeah,
bit.
A little
Yeah.
bit.
a little bit.
You've
Yeah.
had an
My
opportunity.
dad's never gonna wear Jabberjaw stuff. I think my mom will. My stepdad will.
I don't know if my family would or not.
I
I don't
know
know.
that my dad and my sister and they tend to wear bring back our heroic lane chain shirts sometimes
Aw,
when they go on vacation with me as a like a nice nod, which is nice. I appreciate that.
It's
that's
nice.
I
cute.
know for a fact they never wear those when I'm not around, but that's still sweet. You know, it's nice. That's okay. I mean, I'm not.
You wear that shirt, Rick.
Half the time I'm
Hear
like,
it now.
half the time I'm like, oh shit, I wish I had one of those shirts. Damn, they're all gone.
Yeah, I think like all mine have basically disintegrated too. Like eventually, I
Yeah,
do
mine
believe
too.
that. I mean, that dryer lint and how much comes out of that in a month. Eventually, clothes just disappear, and I'm
they,
fair with
they
that.
do.
My Bring Back Joel T-shirts have all just. It had one dry too many, and it just sucked the whole thing right through. And yeah,
I had a tactical. I had a chip on my shoulder and a very obvious tactical failure when we made Bring Back Joel T-shirts, which was like
Hmm.
there were never any T-shirts for fat people. So I was like, we're gonna get so many XXL T-shirts for Being Back Joel, and we sold none of them. Like because people that go to rock shows are much better. They were in much better shape than I was, or smaller at least anyway. And so I have like
They're just tiny. They're doing a lot of
I literally have
stuff.
like 20 triple XL Bring Back Joel T-shirts, and then like a handful of like mediums and one large. Like it's so funny.
Oh,
But anyway, learned my lesson. But I was like, I'm fighting for the fat guy everywhere, and then the fat guy didn't buy your shirt. So anyway, it's
wish I had a BBJ. T-shirt.
You
I
can
never
have
got
one.
one.
You can use it as a fucking dress if you want.
I feel like
We'll make a dress out
you
of
can
it.
like
You can.
you can like put those into circulation by just frequently like different like Goodwill stores around the greater Kansas City area.
That's
Just
Great
take,
true.
take
idea,
them one at a
Smith.
time and then wait for it to converge one day.
Fuck yeah. I
Yeah,
love that.
I could do that. They've never been worn.
I don't know, but I also like the idea of you having this cache of just stored bring back Joel
I know,
extra large t-shirts
just in
just
case.
in times. I'm guessing, yeah.
Actually, Tice, you'll like this. So I did have a Heroic Lane Change shirt. It was black with white and red lettering, and on the back it said, "If you don't know this band," and I could be getting this wrong, "you're an asshole."
Yeah, I
And
think.
I gave it to my little sister Katya. This was before she developed breastises, so she could wear it when she was a tiny little one, and still very tiny. She just, for whatever reason, this is going to be a tangent, but she got my grandmother's boobs that my mom and I always wanted, and so so I can't give her any of my old band T-shirts, but back in the day I could, and she wore that shirt I think to school and got in trouble because it said asshole.
Oh, well, that's good.
Good times. Yeah. So
We got on.
I don't know what happened to that shirt. I'm pretty sure it's still in Kirksville somewhere, but
It's a
nice little story now.
lost and found at the Kirksville Elementary School. Yeah, never to be seen again.
Yeah,
So proud. I was like, Tyson's gonna love that shit. That's
that
great.
is good. I had not heard that. I do love
Yeah.
that. That's great.
Yeah. So
So do you guys want to talk about how? Well, there's lots of stuff to cover, but so it's. I think the main thing is it's been cold. Yeah, like really cold.
it's been very cold.
Did anyone escape the cold, or was it just everywhere? It just seemed like every place that was usually not cold was cold, and I didn't like bother to look at the other places that are generally.
Oh no, it was everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, even Texas, they're experiencing the polar vortex stuff now, I believe.
And if they didn't get, if it wasn't cold, they're getting tornadoes, which was I think was like this terrible double down polar vortex, like weird thing. But yeah, at one point I was looking at Good Morning America's map, and Kansas City was the coldest place in the nation, like well up into like Minnesota or whatever. And I was like, that's not cool.
How does that work? Like, like a lake effect, or like what's going on? Like, what?
There's no lake around here, so I have no idea how that worked out. We barely got a puddle of water around here, so I don't know. It just worked out, and I was like, this is some weird shit that's going on. But I guess this is the new norm, so we might as well just get used to it.
I swear, like it used to be this
Joe
cold.
Biden.
Thank you, Joe Biden. Thank you. This is like those 2 weeks where the global warming deniers gets like stamp their foot.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, this is them us libs eating crow this cold day.
I actually heard, I was at the grocery store, I guess it was Saturday, getting some provisions because it was just shit all Martin Luther King weekend, and there was this guy who was like, enjoy the snow while we still get it. And I'm like, okay, sir. Making bets with myself what he's driving. Definitely a truck. Definitely has a bunch of AR-15 stickers. Yeah.
Yeah. I went out and got groceries a couple nights ago, and it was packed. And I swear it almost seemed like there was a panic surrounding the impending cold. But I wasn't dealing with that shit, so I just got the soda and got out of there because it was
smart.
Yeah, I couldn't deal with that. It was way too cold, and but yeah, no, it was like kind of like it reminded me of like kind of like hurricane. It was just like people were semi prepping, but yeah, it was, I don't know. It was busier than normal.
Yeah. Speaking of stickers, I was behind this truck yesterday or 2 days ago or whenever the hell I left the house, and it had a picture of Joe Biden, and it said, "Does this ass make my truck's back look fat?" And I was like,
hilarious.
What? Oh yeah, I was like, good one. I was like, and then there was another one that had a picture of Dr. Joe Biden that said, "Please stop calling him Brandon. He thinks it's his name now." And I'm like, this guy's a regular joker. He's so good. I was like, where is my rich money insurance that I could just crash into this fuckhead just to meet him? But again,
There is I don't want to jump the gun on headlines here because it wasn't one I included, but there was an article tonight that appeared in CNN talking about like a gift shop that sells like Trump memorabilia, and it's like the mecca for I don't know, Big Johnson aficionados. Anyway, but one of it was mentioning one of the items it mentioned, which I shit you not, was that you can buy a metal set of Trump's balls.
Oh,
What?
Veins and all. Yes, this was
Oh.
like one of the yeah, that was one of the items for, I think it was like $79.95, which I don't know.
Oh,
Yes, but
no.
absolutely sorry to take that in a weird
Wow.
completely direction, but yes, like that struck me as
Yes,
That's too
So-
gross for the
so-
tacky room.
so there
I
is-
wouldn't want, no.
But what I'm saying is there's room for this gentleman to even go further. Like he's only scratched the
Ugh.
surface with this light comedy that he's trying on in the back of his pickup. But
that's
yeah,
true. That's true.
yeah. But anyway, sorry I had to put that image into everyone's head.
Thanks, Smith. God
Well,
damn.
I went to a MAGA, I went to a MAGA store when we were down at the Outer Banks. I got you guys stickers. If I
You're a
remember.
You
brave
did,
man.
you did.
Yeah, I still can't
Yeah.
believe you freaking did that. But
Oh, it was fascinating. And then I got pulled in. They think you're one of them when you get in there, and so you get pulled into conversations. I was like, oh boy, so I just tried to keep my distance. I said, you got this in triple XL? Of course you do. Yes. Okay. All right. That's fine. So. Yeah.
You saw Reds. Yeah, I have to imagine that like people are just overly comfortable, like chatty wise. Like it would be like
yeah.
like I'm sure they're just like oh my god, they're all like me. I can finally be me.
There was
be my MAGA self.
There was a guy talking to the person working there who I figured out was the owner or co-owner of the store, and he apparently the way he was talking, he stops in every couple of days just to talk politics and never buys anything. And I was like, oh, good Lord. I was like, okay, first off, whatever. Second off, like, as a person who's trying to sell something, that would irritate me a lot.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure the MAGA thing only goes so the brotherhood of MAGA, like I'm sure not everybody gets along. Like I'm sure there's like the annoying one and like the I'm sure that's like when society really begins to collapse.
Yeah.
When people in MAGA can't even get along. Yeah. I hope this isn't a trend. I hope there are only
Me
a
too.
handful of these locations that nobody's
Yeah.
franchised it out yet, to the best of my
Well,
knowledge.
they had 2 locations in the Outer Banks, so but
Oh
I
my
don't
God.
I don't know that it'll spread. I don't think it could scale, but who knows? Maybe. I don't know. Maybe it could. I don't know.
It's like the opposite of what In-N-Out Burger's like national availability map is. It's the opposite of that. It's like where California will go, we shall. Good.
Yeah. So it's been a while. I don't remember when we met last.
It was before Christmas. Was it right before Christmas?
It had to be before Christmas.
I think it was.
Was it before or after Christmas? Producers, give us a heads
before
up.
because of Tyson's procedure.
Well, no. Well, that was on the 28th, so it might have been before.
Oh, maybe.
I think it was before that.
Maybe it was.
Please hold. My producers are looking it up right now.
I'll be right back. My cat is clawing my door. I'll be right back.
No, I think it was like right before Christmas. Our last show was on the 22nd.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. It was just right prior to Christmas. So
yeah, because Tyson, his surgery was on the 27th, right?
As I recall, yeah.
Yes. Okay.
So
speaking of Tyson's surgery, Tice, how are we doing? How's the back?
Good, very good, but much better than the last time. It was an interesting thing. So the first surgery, didn't work, and they went in there and they were going to clear up. They're going to clear up, the spine and see if they get the nerves to run more, get them not to be pinched or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And the surgeon told me that when he got in there, he said that he was looking at the other disc between my 4 and 5, which was not touched last time, and he said it was such a massive rupture that had happened since the last surgery. He didn't actually
Ooh.
believe that it had ruptured. It was so big. So
Whoa.
in between the first surgery and which was working on the discs and the bones around the 5-6, the spinal little bony things. Let's call them spindles. I don't know what they're called. In between that time and then the time that they went back in, because my legs started hurting differently. Anyway, I had massively ruptured the disc between my 4 and 5. So they went in
Oof.
there and had to fix all that too. So it took like 3.5 hours to do the surgery.
Wow.
And he said that
Oh,
he was like, well, he was like, you're gonna leak a lot, from your thing, and I was, and but he said that the problem was he had to rip through a bunch of scar tissue to fix the first thing, so it was like a whole mess. But anyway, it's way better. I think he's got it this time. I have relatively, well, I would say no pain compared to the last pain that I had, so I think we got it this
right.
time. Almost kind of glad that they had to go back in and take care of it, and they noticed that other rupture, so now I don't have to go back in, in a year or two from now and have that fixed too. According to
Right.
Nurse Beth, people usually don't rupture discs unless they have like a car accident or like a physical injury, like where they get hit. Just
Mhm.
standing around doesn't rupture anything above the one between 4-5 and 5-6. So anyway, it's been fine. Sitting around has been real whatever because I feel better, so I just want to go do stuff, and then I
Sure.
push myself, and then I pay for it the next day. But it's nothing like the last time, so I think we're good. I want to thank Anna for her card, and yeah. So anyway, yeah. So I think we're good. So I'll probably I'll definitely start physical therapy earlier this time, and but I kind of wanted to start it at the end of the month, and they're like, I'll just hold off a little bit, So when I went to have my consult, or my post surgery playback or whatever you want to call it, so I was like, okay, all right, fine. So anyway, but pretty good. I mean,
Yeah, it's good to
pretty
hear.
pretty good.
That
Yeah,
is good.
yeah. So yay! I'm so glad because I really didn't want to burn that surgeon's car to the ground if he screwed up again. So so that's good. Oh, and he gave me some massive pain pills to help me, including straight up Valium, like big boy,
Oh shit. Okay.
big boy Valium, and Oxycontin, not oxycodone. He gave me Oxycontin and oxycodone to take together to help me with the recovery. And the weird thing that happened this time is I didn't really need it, so I didn't have to take all of it.
It's a good sign.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So good. I'm still taking oxycodone, but instead of taking it 4 times a day, I take it probably once a day. So that's really good.
That's good.
Hell yeah.
So anyway, so I'll be windsurfing before you know it.
Yeah, fantastic.
Hey, Tice, if you have any leftover pills, I'm sure Jonas would buy them from you
I'm
because he's
sure.
always like,
Yeah.
he's that guy. If we go over to a friend's house, he looks in the medicine cabinet and he's like, Cubby, they got blah, blah. Like, he's always looking for muscle relaxers. I'm like, stop doing that. Jesus, we're guests.
If you're in an unknown home, that is like the quickest way to really kind of assess who you're dealing with, I would
That
think.
is true. That
It's
is
a
true.
survival instinct a little bit.
Well, but if they still
Also,
have them, if they still have them in the cabinet, that means they may not be using them. See,
that's true.
that's the
That's
weird.
true.
If
Yeah.
there was none
That
there, then you'd be
yeah.
like, yeah. So I don't know. They give me as much muscle relaxers as I want until I think 2026. So maybe we can work out a deal. We'll find out.
Oh God. All right. Well, I'm very glad he doesn't listen to this
Yeah.
show. Otherwise, he'd be texting you right now. Hey, Tice, about those pills.
I don't know. Yeah, they don't, but they're not, muscle relaxants aren't controlled substances, right? So,
I think
No.
that's right.
Yeah,
no,
he just likes to, have them with a little drinky poo, and then he's like, "It's the best way to go to sleep." I'm like, "When the hell were you taking that many muscle relaxers, and that's how you went to sleep?" Like, I think this was back in the LA days. He was doing a lot of weird shit. So,
well, he's probably not wrong. I mean, booze and muscle relaxer is a quick way to KO your brain, probably.
Yeah,
Uh,
absolutely.
but they actually, yeah, they. Well, the nurse I talked to when I went in last week, she was like, "You don't even really need to take the pain pills. You can just take the muscle relaxers. It'll knock you down, and you'll feel better." And she was like, "And we'll just refill those until you're ready to stop taking them." And I'm like, "Okay, all right, that's fine."
Yeah, that
Oh
was
So
always my
God.
experience with muscle relax. They just knocked me out. Like
yeah,
they just knocked
yeah.
me out. But like when I woke up, like I could move. Like they're kind of amazing. Like
Yeah, and the ones that those all because I did some because I got two different kinds based on I don't know why, but he prescribed me two different types, and I looked them up, and they've been generic since the '60s. I mean, they've been around a long time, so like
Oh shit. Okay.
yeah, so there's obviously not much damage you can do to yourself with those things, unless you take them while you're driving or performing surgery or something
right,
like that.
right. The standard, the things
Heavy
listed on the side of
machinery.
the
Yeah,
Yeah.
things you
yeah.
Yeah.
shouldn't
Uh-huh.
do, on medication. Yeah. Uh,
There's a
Things you
list.
shouldn't do on
A little
medication.
bit of a list.
No, I'm
Yeah.
novel. Yeah.
you guys want to do some headlines?
Yeah.
Yes, let's do it.
Okay.
Classic of the week.
Oh, I've missed that jingle. All right, so this is from NPR. Alabama mom is 1 in a million delivering two babies from two uteruses in 2 days.
Oof.
30-year-old Kelsey Hatcher welcomed two beautiful baby girls into the world last week, delivering fraternal twins at the University of Alabama, Birmingham Hall. But unlike typical twins, the newborns came from two separate wombs. Apparently, this is an affliction, not an affliction, let's call it a blessing, that occurs in 0.3% of women, according to the Cleveland
Wait,
Clinic.
how many percent?
0.3.
Oh,
So,
0.3. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
yeah. So,
Yeah, you said 3%. I was like, really? Wow. Okay.
now these are separate uteruses. Now, we talked about the woman that had two separate vaginas. I don't know if you recall this earlier in the show. That was a previous headline that we had where she used one vagina for porn work and the other
Yes.
vagina for her husband. Yeah, but this is a little different.
Not the same woman. Just
Not
to
the same
clarify.
woman. This woman has one
To be
vagina.
clear.
Yeah, this woman has one
Okay.
vagina with two uteruses.
Okay.
Uteri, I guess would be
Is
technically.
is she in the market for a sitcom called My Two Wombs?
Ew. All right. First rim shot of the year. All right. I'm glad it wasn't me.
Yeah.
My two wounds.
Sorry. I apologize about that.
No, you should never.
Oh my god, I made myself cry. All right. Please go on.
Never apologize. This is from the Kansas City Star. This is pretty morbid, but I want to get into this headline in a minute. This is the headline: Former Kansas City ballet dancer dies in Minneapolis after being stabbed with a golf club. Okay,
Ooh.
Eek.
I don't know if you guys have ever played golf, but stabbing someone with a golf club takes an enormous amount of strength because they are not sharp. Even if you use the handle side of it, it's not like it's not like a thing that cuts through the body very well. It doesn't go into details about how this happened, or it doesn't really go into why it happened either. Pretty screwy, but it happened at a crime scene. I think the guy was working at a 7-Eleven or something. And yeah, he got stabbed. He got stabbed with a golf club and died. So anyway,
Wow.
lock your golf clubs up and your gun safes, everybody. It's important.
Noted.
Matt.
So I don't play anymore. It's just safer. Bring 12 deadly weapons to the course and have anyone have their pick at me. Yeah.
That's true. If you have 14 clubs in your bag, it's illegal anyway, technically. So, um, that's a golf joke for my sister. This is from Sports Illustrated. I watched this game in the hospital, and so I thought it occurred at the North Carolina State game and the Kansas State game, and it was called. Well, here we go. It was called the Pop Tart Bowl. Here's the headline from Sports Illustrated. Announcer drops incredibly morbid line about Pop Tarts Bowl mascot during kickoff. This is what he said. He said, "Here's the sad part of the story. After the game, he will be devoured, he will die, and he will be his own last meal." And this is what happened. That the winners of the game got to eat this man walking around in a Pop Tart suit. And he actually had Pop Tart stuff around him. And the big reveal was what flavor he would be. so everyone could eat part of this guy. And yes, it's very strange. And then I did at halftime. All three of the maybe it was just two guys. It might have been three. Color commentaries at halftime talked about their favorite Pop Tart flavors and who they hoped the guy in the Pop Tart outfit, what flavor they happened to be. Now I didn't watch and see what it was. I assume it was cinnamon sugar brown, which seems to be everybody's
I
favorite.
I would hoping to be, yeah, if I was just
Oh,
munching
I prefer the strawberry myself,
Now,
but I'm
okay,
on my
well,
own
I guess all
island.
right. Those are our
now
Yeah.
votes.
to be fair, like I have never actually had a Pop Tart, so I don't know. And I know
Wait,
that
what?
I know that was kind of I buried the lead a little bit, but anyway, but yeah, I've never actually had
That's
one.
not okay.
I
Tice,
get,
you need a
I know, but well, trust me, I got the same reaction from Beth, so we will try to find a Pop Tart.
B. Get some Pop Tarts for him. I know they're shit, but just one box. All right, please.
Okay, well, this
The
is the
cinnamon ones.
the cinnamon ones.
The cinnamon ones.
Actually, get cinnamon and strawberry and decide which is
Oh,
superior.
there you go. Yeah.
Well, how many could there be? Like probably 10, 11? Do they have peanut butter
Well,
Pop
I
Tarts?
don't. They probably do now. Who knows? I know
Yeah.
they have a peanut butter and jelly Pop Tart at one point.
Yeah.
We were watching How It's Made. Do you guys remember that show?
Yeah.
They
Love that show.
they showed how they make Pop Tarts on there. It's
Ugh.
actually it wasn't actual Pop Tarts, but it was a knockoff brand. It was it was fine. It was interesting. It didn't look gross.
Okay.
It didn't make me not want to eat them.
It wasn't like McDonald's chicken nuggets back in the day.
No, I
All
didn't.
right.
I didn't
Okay.
know
Yeah.
that. Anyway, this is apparently the Pop Tart mascot doesn't mind being devoured, prefers it actually, and this is from Roger Sherman. Excuse me. This is on Twitter. I asked if it was offensive to eat a Pop Tart in front of the Pop Tart Bowl mascot, and then its handler yelled out, "It's their dream!" And then the mascot grabbed a Pop Tart out of my hand and started force feeding it to me while making soft grunting noises. So that alone,
Wow.
that is amazing.
Wow.
Wowie wow.
And then I know you guys can't see this, but here's the guy with the Pop Tart again.
Oh yeah.
Eating
Yeah.
the Pop
Oh,
Tart again.
okay.
Wow.
Yeah, so.
That was a weird.
It was weird watching it happen. You know, I was like, "Are these
Yeah.
drugs?" I was like, "Did they give me more fentanyl?" Because they know fentanyl doesn't agree with my head. And yeah, no, it was just the actual thing that was happening on TV. So, this is from the AP. Woman sues dentist after 4 root canals, 8 dental crowns, and 20 fillings in a single visit.
Ugh.
Fucking nightmare fuel
I
for
don't
me.
like
right
that
there.
headline at all. Yeah.
She's suing her dentist. She says it led to her disfigurement. I mean, this woman is the most understanding woman in the world because I would have straight up shot this man in the back of the head as he left the office to his car. I mean, I would
stabbed
murder
him with a
him.
golf club, which would be
Yeah, exactly. I would. Yes.
There you go.
You
I
know,
like that.
now I understand how a golf club could kill someone because I could have that kind of strength to kill a man with a golf club if he had done this with me. Kathleen Wilson filed a lawsuit last week in some district court in Minnesota, providing negligent treatment in July 2020 that caused significant injuries to Wilson, along with providing an unsafe dosage of anesthesia and falsifying medical records to cover it up, the Star-Tribune reported. Where's the thing? I think he charged her $40,000 for the visit.
Whoa. What?
No, okay. Well, hold on. It was a ridiculous amount of money though that they gave her. Oh yeah, 28 teeth in 5.5 hours is what they said, and the witness said it was inconceivable that could happen. I assume he was a dentist. So anyway, that was my personal little nightmare fuel. Let's go to the next one. Oh, this is just kind of interesting note. Early version of Mickey Mouse is now in the public domain. So Disney had actually passed a law 20 years ago, maybe 30 years ago. It was called the Disney Law or the Mickey Mouse Law to actually change public domain to extend it so they had complete control. Now, there's a little bit of a caveat with the fact. So while Mickey Mouse is now public domain, it's just this version of Mickey Mouse, Steamboat Willie. Same thing with Batman. Like, Batman is technically in public domain, but it's the original Batman. So it's not like the Adam West Batman or the movie Batmans or whatever. But that's fine. You can actually you can write stories or you can make cartoons with this particular thing, and they can't sue you for it, which is great. Although I'm sure they will try now that I think about it.
I did actually see there was a horror movie that they released the trailer on the day that Mickey Mouse went out of public domain. So there's a horror movie based on that version of Mickey Mouse. There's also I forget where I read this, but there's also a 3D like a first person shooter being designed where you will go just run through and mow down Mickey and his friends.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So people were on it. Apparently, people were working on it. They did the same thing with Winnie the Pooh, I think, a couple years ago, where they'd a Winnie the Pooh horror film once it entered public domain. So I'm sure it'll just kind of be a novelty for but I don't know that it's going to really do anything.
No, I don't think so. But it's people write new Sherlock Holmes books, and some of them are amazing. So
right, that's true.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, for example, writes amazing books about Sherlock Holmes. So anyway,
wow, I did not know that.
Oh yeah,
I didn't either.
Yeah,
that's a fact. What?
It's a fact. Actually, he's been in the writing room for some of the new Star Wars series.
No kidding.
Oh,
wow, that's cool.
Yeah,
that is cool.
Yeah,
that's very cool. Good for him. That's awesome.
He's been a prolific writer, and now he's starting to write for TV and being involved in some of the writing room, which is pretty neat, actually.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. So I want to talk a little bit about this. This is from The Atlantic. I'm sure Matt's going to cover this in a little bit, but if I step on your toes, Matt, we'll just hop in here. Trump's lawyers walked into a trap, and this has to do with the fact that when they were making their case, that basically what they were trying to make their case, their defense was that if the president can do whatever he wants unless he is
impeached
for what he did. And so basically so then one of the judges came up with this brilliant thing where she said, so if the president orders Team Teal 6 to assassinate one of his political rivals, and he's not impeached for it, then it's legal. And then the lawyer, all he could say was "Oh, but he would be impeached for it." But she's like, "What you're saying? If he wasn't, it would be legal." And he's like, "Yeah, but he would." I mean, she fucking nailed his ass to the wall. It was amazing.
I love that if you extend the logic, right? Because if you extend the logic that the sitting president can have people assassinated and not face criminality, puts Joe Biden in a pretty goddamn good spot, doesn't it? So that was the real irony of that whole argument. It was just laughably stupid.
So dumb.
Oh my god! Yeah, I did have that was what I did have. But no, I'm glad you mentioned it because it's.
Well, I mean, you think some of these lawyers, right? And Joe Takiopa or Takiopa or whatever his fucking name is, he fucking resigned. He resigned. He was their best lawyer. He resigned yesterday. He was like, "I'm not."
Did see that? Yep.
Joe Tapioca. I like that. The law firm of Joe Tapioca.
I want that business card. That's
I do
great.
too. I
do. But anyway, it's ridiculous. To go and have to. I mean, these are, I assume, mostly seasoned attorneys. They do realize that judges used to be attorneys, right? They have to know, right? That they can just they can just lawyer your ass up against a wall if they want to, so anyway.
Yeah,
I loved that. That was one of my favorite things that happened. Not that it made any difference in Iowa, and not that it's going to make any difference anywhere, but I just love it. And I think this is my last one. I don't even know if this is worth talking about. So this is from Vox. How a horny beer catalog sparked a conservative civil war. Did you guys read about this? It's kind of a long article.
I think so, no.
It's called Calendar Gate, and basically what it is this beer company that started up after Bud Light was being, said that was, they started up their own beer called Ultra Right Beer. Now, nobody that is reported in this article has ever actually tasted it, so that's a non-point. Doesn't really matter. But they made a calendar called Conservative Dad's Real Women of America 2024 calendar. And what they did was that the calendar contains photos of the most beautiful conservative women in America in various sexy poses. Some like anti-trans swimmer Riley Gaines and writer Ashley St. Clair were wearing revealing outfits. Others, like former White House candidate Kim Klacik, are fully clothed. No one is naked. Anyway, so then the more conservative people from the conservative side were like, that's bullshit. Because you're not conservative, you're objectifying women, and then it turned into this thing. And so basically, we're talking about it all boiled down to this idea that, like, so there's this group of conservative people, men mostly, we'll call them conservative bros, who enjoy, racist jokes, and they enjoy, like, sexy women and whatever, but they don't really fit the criteria. They're just kind of assholes, like they're bros, right? And they're just like,
Right.
just let me, do what I want, talk bad about women or talk bad about minorities. It's my God-given right or whatever. And then their own, like, sort of, I mean, that's how fractured this whole thing is, right? So anyway, I just thought it was interesting. I looked at the pictures in the catalog, and it's just like, okay, whatever. I was like, is this even worth having an argument about this?
This is so gross. I'm looking at their site right now.
Yeah,
What
I mean, it's just,
what were the keywords that you used, Dawson? Because I want to be careful here.
I literally just put in 2024 conservative women's calendar, and it's the first one that pops up in the Google search.
And it's conservative dads.
Yes,
real
but
women.
yeah, conservative. Yeah.
So these men are already married. That's part of the other problem that they're having with it. So anyway, it's just stupid. But I thought it was interesting nonetheless. I mean, like, all it takes is a calendar to fracture this group, here and there. So of course, to be fair, all it takes us is, for liberals, is a pipeline to fracture the whole fucking thing too. So
yeah. Don't tell anybody, but I just lied about my birth date to get into this.
Did you
Real
say
Women of America? I think I said like 19, like March 7th, 1987, something like that. No.
I
Well
put that
done.
in 1919, I think, when I did it.
10% of all sales will be donated to Riley Gaines Center to protect women's sports from extreme leftist ideology seeking to destroy all real women. Wow.
Yeah, that's a fun group.
Gross.
That's a fun group. Anyway,
Yeah.
those are my headlines. So.
Oh, I love the diversity going on in this calendar.
Oh yeah,
literally one black woman.
Yeah.
That's wow. I hate all this shit. Okay.
Who are you?
Boo. Wow. Yeah. Smith, what those are good headlines, Tice. What did you find over the last few weeks?
So I had a couple of the same headlines, but I think I've still got a couple that were not mentioned. First one, this is from AP on in the trying to find the date, January 4th. Nude man nabbed by police after cannonball plunge into giant aquarium at Bass Pro Shop in Alabama. A man crashed his car outside a Bass Pro Shop in Alabama, stripped down to his birthday suit, and plunged into the giant aquarium. And he does later on state that the 42-year-old Alabama man did a cannonball leap into the aquarium and stood under the waterfall. I kind of like this guy.
Me too.
This is sort of like a follow-up to the remember that like airline attendant like 5-6 years ago that just like wanted to get the fuck off the plane and just ejected the slide.
Yeah.
I think that's what this reminds me of. Is this gentleman had just had enough, and he's like, he had a plan. I mean, that's pretty impressive.
The only thing that would make that story better if it said he was released on $25 bail.
Also, probably wouldn't do it where they have like a giant collection of guns at the ready. But other than that,
well, he's a hero for
that.
Minor oversight on his part. And I guess the bigger one was that I think I sent this to you guys the other night. Just from Mother Jones, Florida man facing 91 criminal counts wins Iowa caucuses. Speaking of our ex. Let's keep him that way.
Not the win, the headline.
Yeah.
Yeah, the headline.
Yeah, no, the headline was quite funny because it's true, and Iowans are a bunch of crazy motherfuckers. But no, a couple interesting things. It annoyed the shit out of me that like I don't know the attention it got. Like, and I know it's the Iowa caucuses, but like we have to stop pretending this shit's normal. Like that's driving me
Yes.
insane. Like even NPR, which I usually listen to in the morning while I'm bathing myself. So it's a full mind body experience with the NPR.
It's a good idea.
Yeah.
Ross and NPR, yep. But it just even they were like just treating it like a normal. Again, there's just this huge overtone of like what the fuck is actually happening that seems to be sort of being added credibility by just covering it in the news. And again, I don't have the answer. Do we not cover it in the news? That's not what I'm saying. It's
Right.
frustrating to see because I think they called him as the winner like 15 minutes
Was
in
it?
or something like
Yeah,
that. Like
yeah. I thought that
and
was
like
crazy. I was like, what? Really?
right. And again, yeah, but like all the polls, like that would have been a huge upset if somebody else. I don't think anybody was expecting anyone else to win, and they basically bore out exactly what the poll numbers were, except for Nikki Haley, who had to take third place. Next to she lost to Ron DeSantis, which oh man. That's not entering the new year well. And
Yeah.
Ron DeSantis took it as a win. I think he got like 19% of the vote. And he was like, we just punched our card, the ticket to this election. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
The only good news was low out was like really low, like really voter turnout was super low. Now again, it was really cold
It was
outside.
cold. Yeah.
Yeah, it was cold.
So even Trump supporters have their I can't do it. I just can't do it because
Well, I
it's.
think DeSantis was actually bussing people in. I'm sure the other people were too, to be
Oh,
fair.
I'm sure. Yeah. So anyway, we got to watch that. Eventually, they're going to make it to like four or five states, maybe, and then everyone's just going to call it. Vivek
I mean,
Ramsaway
yeah, he left.
suspended his nomination. Asa Hutchinson. All these people are who? What?
Yeah.
Suspended his.
4%.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, what's like, does it even matter until you get to South Carolina? I think the first two states don't matter at all. I think they just kind of got lucked into the system. I might as well just go straight to South Carolina because it has the most people and the most
Right.
diversity. So what the shit, like,
Yeah,
but
and I think I guess that'll probably be that's the sort of the bellwether for Nikki Haley because I think she's
Mhm.
from South Carolina, and so
mhm.
I think because New Hampshire's next, I think, and then if I'm not mistaken, so we'll see what happens. Oh my God, like those two, like at one point I was like, you know what? As much as I hate all her policies, like if I could live with Nikki Haley as president. I don't think I can anymore. Like she because they both announced within the last couple of weeks that they will pardon Trump and they'll pardon the January 6th quote unquote prisoners.
Oh, I didn't know that. They'd pardon them too.
Yes, so they've
Interesting.
both just gone full batshit, which
Yeah,
again, you have to like you
you have
got to
to
be where the
do.
levels be. They're just
Yeah.
floating up to where the crazy is, and
Well,
it's
Yeah.
I mean, I hate to say it, but we were a Chris Christie household because it was just like, oh, Jesus Christ! I hope if you got to have him, and he's an asshole, you know.
oh, he's
Oh
terrible.
yeah,
He's
giant dick.
terrible.
Yeah.
He's
but
terrible.
but at least he would be better than these guys because he wouldn't like. So I don't know. It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
But he
it's
dropped. I was kind of surprised he did drop out before New Hampshire. But I mean, I know he wasn't polling very well because he's too liberal, I guess, or he's too
yeah.
anti-Trump. I guess is the thing. The
It is
problem.
weird to like make it this far and then be like, all right, well, you know what I mean? Like to go like, I mean, because I'm guessing, I mean, and I don't know, maybe once that kind of proves out, maybe that's just people to stop giving money because they're like, I don't know what, but that just surprised me that you'd go all these months. Of course, it's probably they're cheap months though, so that's he gets to get proven. Because the GOP debate went down from like I don't know what was it like 7 or 8 to just 2 on CNN. I don't even and you know me, Tyson. Like we love political. I don't care at all. Like I
Yeah.
literally don't care what these people have to say because it's all
No.
bullshit. And
Yeah.
No, I just have to wait till the next election cycle because it's just unless Biden drops out, and he might, who knows? But if Biden drops out, and then I think he was staying in until like Trump lost, and then he was like, "Well, I beat Trump once," But I don't know, man.
yeah,
It looks like he's got Botox now. I haven't. talked about this out loud, but it looks like he's been Botoxed. I don't know if you guys seen him.
He doesn't look good. He doesn't sound good. I'm nervous. Ugh.
Yeah,
I think he might. Well, I don't know. I read something where some guy that runs like mutual funds or I don't know. He said that he actually thought that between Super Tuesday and the election that Biden would drop out and let somebody be picked at the thing, which would actually be good.
It would, because it would allow we would theoretically avoid all the noise of the election cycle from the primary election cycle for the next few months. But that would be a weird deal.
I mean, well, it would be weird, but I mean, look how popular Sarah Palin was suddenly when she was just brought in out of nowhere.
True.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Now, imagine somebody that can answer a question or read periodicals.
But who's that going to be? Like, what Democrat is that going to be?
I don't know. I mean, I can't think it's going to be Kamala Harris, because that would look weird if she went for it. But I don't know who it would be. But I mean, well, I don't know who it would be. But I mean, if it would have to be somebody young, and it have to be somebody like with 30 or 20 years younger than Trump, at least 20 years younger than Trump, that energizes the base, the Democratic base. And
right.
So I don't know who it would be, but there are people out there, So
I think my best kind of hope right now, and I'm forgetting her name, I can't remember, is the current governor of Michigan. And because she's already been tried to be attacked, kidnapped and killed. So she's dealt with Trump's people before.
She's been through it. Yeah.
She's been through it. I think, for the longest time I thought Newsom, but I think I can't.
Well, that's who I was going to say, but I don't know if that,
Yeah.
I don't know.
And I love Buttigieg, but I think that I think that he just took a cabinet position and did absolutely nothing for him except hurt him. Which, because nobody's like, yay on transportation. Like, that's never a win. Don't take that job. Like, no one's ever going to be happy.
No.
So I don't know. I don't know. I guess we'll wait and find out. But
I mean, if Biden's losing, let's say after Super Tuesday, a month after Super Tuesday, Biden was losing by 30% in the polls, they'll convince him to just be like, nope.
Oh, absolutely.
And then they'll go to the whatever they call it, the conference, and then or whatever that thing is, the election, the convention. They'll go to the convention,
yes.
And then they'll decide who's going to run. I actually think that might happen. I mean, it has happened several times in the past. I don't know if you look back at some of the stuff that's happened. We tend to forget this stuff after 10 years, right? Because everybody kind of just forgets.
Yeah.
But I mean, that is not something that is unheard of necessarily. But
yeah. Well, and unfortunately too, there's a lot of which I don't know how much it concerns me, but I know it's legitimate. Is that like a lot of with the Israeli-Palestine war going on right now, and us just sort of
hanging out
by de facto standing by Israel, and like I think I get it from a political stance because I'm old and I'm like, yes, of course it's the way it's always been done. Why do we do it? Because it's the way it's always been done. And it sounds like absolute bullshit, and I would hate if I was a younger person hearing it, but like, what the fuck else are you going to do? And so that's, I hope they're going to have to keep sort of energy up somehow. And that's going to be real hard for, I think, Biden to do. Because I do think, don't shoot me, but he hasn't been a bad president.
No, I don't think he's been a bad president. I mean, the numbers are good. Now, admittedly, this is post-COVID, so that helps and all that stuff.
Right.
He hasn't, but I mean, even still, the numbers are great, and if you would, and inflation is partly part of the problem with that is has to do with the Fed, not with the president. And the president doesn't control the Fed. So there's just some whatever. But
but people don't remember what the president does for a job,
right?
He just sort of he just doesn't
he doesn't do that.
He doesn't have a knob where he adjusts the gas price and fuck you, Kentucky. Yeah, that's not how it works.
Yeah,
although what you did.
So I don't know. I don't know. The more I watch it, I mean, I think he's just hanging on. I saw him on New Year's Eve. He was interviewed by Ryan Seacrest, and he was in the Virgin Islands, and he was talking about eating ice cream and pancakes, and I was like, Jesus fucking Christ! I was like, that's not a good look.
Not a good look. And not at all.
And his wife was kind of talking for him, and it was like
no.
it looks bad. And Beth's like, he's too old, but I'm not. I'm going to vote for him because Trump. And I'm like, yeah.
Yeah,
And she's a
Yeah.
same.
libertarian, so so. Anyway, it's
Yeah.
just anyway. Sorry,
It's all
buddy.
right.
Gonna be a fun year. Gonna be a fun year.
It's going to be a terrifying year. Tyson, hang on to those Valium, buddy, because
Yeah, you might
I
have to send them to us, or we'll
yeah,
just come to Kansas City and
yeah.
nab them.
Oh my God.
All right, I got some headlines. I'll go through these really quickly. The first one, I just love where this comes from, and I don't know how this ended up on my newsfeed. CowboysStateDaily.com. Historic Stanley Hotel sells for $475 million.
Wow.
And it says that the ghosts are included in the deal. Isn't that adorable? For those who are under a rock and don't know what the Stanley Hotel is, it is the hotel in Estes Park, Colorado, where Stephen King got the inspiration to write The Shining. So they sold it to an Arizona nonprofit. The deal includes 58 new apartments in the construction of a film center, which I'm actually pretty stoked about. So I believe that is going to start happening sometime early this year, as soon as the weather improves, because Estes Park right now is a giant clusterfuck of snow. But yeah, really excited about that, actually. I think it'll be cool.
And I fully support any nonprofit that has $450 million to spend on an investment property. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, I'm a little nervous about that from Arizona. Like, who the fuck are these
Right.
people? Like, what?
Right. Right. They're coming for
We'll
your
see.
water.
If this becomes like a fucking apartment complex and then they just have some stupid memorabilia around, I'm gonna be pissed off. So yeah, we'll see what happens.
Have you been there? I haven't been there. Have you been there, either of you?
I've been
haven't.
there. The last time I was there was last August, and I mean, it's fun. They're still doing ghost tours. They actually built out. Smith, I don't know when the last time it was that you were there, but they have a maze that they've built out in front.
Oh, really?
It's
I
actually
think I
getting
heard
taller.
that they did do
Yeah,
that.
it was
Yeah,
really
which is
cool.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. That's just, I would have never guessed it was worth that kind of money, but who knows?
No, they've kept it up. They actually just put in a new bar because Glassman was there, I think, most recently, and she said they put in a bar where the ballroom's at, in a dining room area.
Cool.
So
Wow, that's pretty badass.
yeah, it's pretty neat.
That's very cool.
Yeah, I love it. I also love ghost shit, as the fans know. So whatever, I'm going to be down for whatever they do. And then my next headline is from people.com. ESPN apologizes after airing clip of woman flashing her breasts during the Sugar Bowl broadcast. Just watch the clip. It's pretty funny. Both of them.
A little friendly fire.
I'm like, what did you expect? It's
Exactly.
Bourbon Street in New Orleans. Like, you
Yeah.
dummies. Like, come on.
You might
Very
want a
funny though.
License to have, that's your go. That's your time. That's your go time.
Yeah.
Can't do that at the
Throw some
PTA
beads,
meeting. God damn.
Media, yeah. Oh, so good. So good. And then this is from NPR. A 13-year-old in Oklahoma may have just become the first person to ever beat Tetris. Did you guys see that?
Oh yes,
I did see that.
That was
yes.
awesome.
That was very cool. What is his name? Willis Gibson. Super cute picture. I definitely recommend reading the whole article, but he got to level 157, got to the notorious kill screen, and it only took this kid like 39 minutes. So yeah, it's just a very cute article. He's a cute kid. You can watch the video online.
He's excited.
Yeah, super excited. Yeah, I love it. And then what else do I have? I feel like I have a couple others. This is from Daily Mail, UK. Senate staffer is caught filming amateur porn in hearing room as graphic video emerges. So, I mean, yes, they were filming porn in one of the rooms at the Senate. The weird thing, the kind of sad thing too, is that I'm in a chat with some other friends, and it's called the Anderson Cooper's Pale Dimes chat. And it's with me and two of my girlfriends from New York.
For some reason, a thumbs up came up.
I know. He's like, yeah, those dimes.
Yeah.
And one of my best guy friends from Austin, Lance, and then one of them from London. And both of the guys are gay. And all we talk about are just hot guys. Like literally and we're checking on each other, but mainly it's just like, the Jeremy Allen White advertisement thing that came out and stuff like that. And Lance just put in like, I don't know if any of you straight friends have seen this, but I have actually, like, a lot of my other straight friends haven't seen this come across their news feeds. And I hadn't personally seen it. I had to go looking for it, unfortunately. So screw you, Lance. But yeah, I mean, amateur gay porn was shot inside a Senate hearing room. So I don't know what has happened post that. I don't know if you guys can add any color to that situation, but
I saw a headline.
It's pretty funny.
I saw a headline for it, but it didn't have anything about the gay porn aspect of it. So I don't know if the gay porn aspect changed the algorithm a little bit. I have no idea.
Maybe, I don't know.
But I did see something that said the staffer was fired for recording a pornography in one of the Senate subcommittee hearing rooms or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, who hasn't fucked at work? I mean, come on.
Yeah, the only part I really take exception with is the amateur part, because if you're doing it in a Senate committee room, like definitely a professional. You're definitely a professional.
That's true. Point. Yeah.
So
it just reminded me of this was like back in probably like 2009, 2010. You guys remember Gawker.com?
Oh yeah.
Do you remember when they had caught somebody at an advertising agency banging in one of their cubicles, and they posted the video online, and it was around Thanksgiving time, and they placed a turkey right over the parts?
Oh no.
And I swear to God, one of my bosses, I'm not going to say who, she was like, I know that girl. And she fucking did.
Wow.
She called that following Monday. She's like, yeah, I got fired. And my boss, who shall remain, he was like, how did you get fired? Totally got it out of her.
Oh,
so funny.
Oh, that's wow.
Fucking on the floor. Oh God, good stuff. Good times.
Good times.
Cameras are everywhere, people.
Yeah, right.
You bring them to Senate hearing rooms.
Live your life like cameras are everywhere.
Yes, that's live, laugh, love. Live, laugh,
love.
Record.
Yeah. Oh God. And then I just have one more. This is from E-Online. I love all the places I get my stupid shit from. Gillian Anderson's 2024 Golden Globe dress had vaginas all over it. It's great. Check it out. It was actually a very tasteful dress, and you can't really tell they're vaginas until you get a very close-up look. And it was part of this promotional thing for like the newest season of Sex Education. So I was like, good on you, Gillian Anderson.
I apparently I didn't zoom in or pay, because I saw that headline and I was like, oh, it looks like a dress. I didn't realize.
I did the same thing, Smith, and I was like, why do I keep seeing this? Like, she looks great, but like not exceptional. Like, what is going on? Yeah, there are vaginas everywhere. Yeah.
It's like one of those 3D magic pictures.
Oh, yeah. Close your eyes a little bit.
Have to stare long enough to see the vaginas. Oh, yeah. I'll send you to special school for that. Yeah.
I liked her dedication.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah. So that is all. Good headlines.
Good headlines, everybody.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Nailed it.
Crop for 4 weeks, I would say. 2 weeks? 3 weeks? I don't know.
2 weeks, 3 weeks. Tomato. All right. Should we do some plugs?
We shall.
You guys got plugs?
I got plugs.
You, the ice cream manufacturer. You, the frozen food distributor. And you, the food retailer. Stand today in the midst of a selling revolution. For today, you're in a merchandising era of self-service, where display and accessibility are the key to successful merchandising. Yes, today's problem is merchandising. To sell in high volume for high profits, frozen products are impulse items, and impulse buying is primarily an emotional decision.
So I've been down, so I've been watching lots of stuff. So let's just get to it. There's a show called What If on on Disney Plus. Basically, What If is based on a comic book that was one of my favorite comic books growing up, which is like, what if the Fantastic Four didn't get their powers, or what if Spider-Man would turn into Captain America instead of Spider-Man, and these weird things. And what's great is they're imaginary stories, so they can just go to the end, and you don't even have any idea. It can go to the most illogical conclusion in the comic books. But what they've been doing is they've been making these animated shows called What If. They're all based on the MCU, and um, they're really good and probably much better than the last few Marvel movies have been in the last year or two.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And what's nice is they get the actual actresses. So Kieran Gillen, Chadwick Bosewick.
Nice.
The only people they don't get is Chris Evans as Captain America and Robert Downey Jr. But everybody else, including Taika Waititi and Zoe Zadalian, and basically everybody else is the real people. It's really good. It's definitely there's an ongoing storyline that goes on to the show. So Agent Carter is the main, I would say, the main sort of through line, and that's which is really great because in the series she becomes Captain America or Captain Britain. And so
That's
she's
cool.
kind of the main thing in the whole thing. So it's really
Okay.
good. Definitely worth watching. The animation is very realistic. It's not cartoony at all, and so it's very good. Anyway, they dropped all of season 2 a couple weeks ago, and we just zoomed through it. It was fantastic. I'm gonna do all my comic book bullshit first. We watched the season finale of Doom Patrol. It was fine. Um, Doom Patrol is really good in season 1. Season 2
Yeah, we actually watched Doom Patrol season 1 and liked it, but
it's really good. It falls off 2, 3, 4. I did like season 2, but 3 and 4 are just kind of like, you know, I mean, it's kind of fun for me to see some of the Easter eggs, but for most people that don't know any of that stuff, it's not really that great. So they did wrap up. At least they had a way to wrap up. They knew they were going to be canceled. So, but if you're going to watch Doom Patrol, watch season 1, and if you like it a lot, watch season 2. And then we watched this new series called Echo on Disney Plus, and it's on Hulu as well. And it's a spin-off character from the Hawkeye Disney Plus television show. It's got Vincent D'Onofrio as he's the big bad, sort of. He's
okay.
Kingpin from Daredevil. There's also a scene with Daredevil in the show that's
Oh,
new.
that's cool. I like
Um,
Daredevil a lot.
yeah. Anyway, if you're a fan of Vincent D'Onofrio or Buffalo 66, as I know one of us is in this room, um, they
That would be me.
they actually make a reference to it.
Jessica Grubbs made me watch that movie at least 30 times, and I'm not lying about that
She
number.
made us watch it at least one time, if I remember. So that was also
That's
the day.
fair.
That was also the day we got signed up on Facebook. Anyway, so
That makes sense.
Echo is only 5 episodes. It's pretty good. It's not great, but it's a crime drama. It's very action heavy. It's very violent. It's the so it's I think it's not R rated, but it's up there on
Is
Disney's
it more
version of.
violent than The Boys?
Oh no, but for Disney kind of thing, it is. It's up
Okay.
there.
Okay.
There's a lot of yeah. Anyway, it's worth watching. I mean, it's not my favorite, but it's okay. The story that I read was that they did 8 episodes. Kevin came in, Kevin Feige came in, and
hmm
since the movies have been doing poorly and some of the TV shows have been doing poorly, he's refocused his efforts on this stuff, and he had it cut down to 5 episodes instead of 8. So in the
Wow.
story, the
Okay.
story does move along pretty well. And so it's worth watching if you like Marvel stuff. It's worth watching if you're a fan of the actors in the show. And the lead actress, she's a she's deaf, like in real life. So
Oh,
her thing
cool.
is
Okay.
so she acts. She's deaf, and there's a lot of sign language, American Sign Language, and just a bunch of stuff. And she's also Native American. She's Choctaw, and so there's a huge part about the fact that she's Choctaw, and that's where some of her stuff comes from. I don't want to give too much away, but it's you'll bust through it. Each episode is like 30 minutes long, so you'll get through this in like a movie time. So
Okay.
I saw an amazing movie called Godzilla Minus One. It's a Japanese movie. It is subtitled. Sorry, everybody. It is the best Godzilla movie I've ever seen. I was telling these guys it was the first time I've ever been actually scared of Godzilla. Like he seemed like an actual menace, and I'm talking about all the stuff they've redone and from the originals. I've seen every one of them, I think. Um, it was really good, and it's got a very good human story to it, because it's sort of that Godzilla's always been an allegory about World War II, but they take that up a notch, and because this does take place during World War II and just after World War II, so it's really good, and I highly recommend everyone watching it. You will not be able to stop watching it. It's very good. And then you're like, oh shit, Godzilla is scary as fuck, like because he starts killing people you are genuinely interested in.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
so it's really good. We finally watched the second season of Our Flag Means Death, which is on HBO Max, or just Max as they desperately want us to call it.
Fucking I don't like it's HBO. It's
Whatever.
fine.
Twitter,
Whatever.
X, whatever.
This is the last season, right?
Yeah, it was the last season,
Unfortunately.
and they did a nice wrap up of it. It's 8 episodes long. It was really good. I was surprised it took us that long to watch it, but we kind of forgot about it. But if you don't know anything about Our Flag Means Death, it's got Bryce Darby and Taika Waititi, and it's basically a love story and a pirate story at the same time. It's really quite good. Did you watch season one?
I watched like 3 or 4 episodes
Yeah,
of season
same.
1.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, it really goes faster the second season.
Okay.
But it was really good. It was quite good. It's also, they really lean into the fact that most pirates were gay. They obviously, why would they go out on boats and not be around women for years at a time? So there's a lot of gay storylines. Like most of them are gay. Most of the people on these pirates ships are gay. And which makes total sense. And actually, there's a lot of that in the history as well. But anyway, it's Taika Waititi plays Blackbeard, and Rice Darby plays gentleman John Steed, who's also. So this is all based on fact. I mean, obviously the storylines aren't perfect, but it is based on true story. And that's on HBO Max. I watched the final episode of Archer. I've been watching Archer for 14 seasons. It's been good. It's been bad. It's probably peaked. Seasons 1 through 5 are probably the best. The last 3 seasons, the guy who created the show hasn't written any of the episodes really for it.
Oh, really? Okay.
And they've been better actually than his stuff that he was doing towards the end. So he got a good group of writers. But the last episode is great. It's an hour and a half long, and it wraps up everything that's going on. So highly recommend that. The season finale of Monarch on Apple TV was posted on Friday. Excellent ending. Can't wait for season 2. Very, very good. Monarch is a show also based in the Godzilla universe, but it's the new Godzilla universe, the movies that Kong and Godzilla and Godzilla vs. Kong that have come in the last couple of years. One more TV thing is I just wanted to point out that The Simpsons this year has been fantastic, like the best it's been in like 10 or 15 years.
Oh, no shit.
What happened was, from what I can tell, it looks like they got in a bunch of new writers, but they also kept like a handful of the really great writers to sort of like do polishes over the script. So it's been great. The Halloween episode this year was fantastic. And we just watched one that was also had Taika Waititi in it. And it was basically a Knives Out kind of thing on a cruise ship.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it was very good. And finally, this just came in the mail today, and I haven't had a chance to listen to it, but it is a 7-inch single.
Oh my God.
Do you know what this is?
Death Cab for Cutie.
It's
it's Postal Service, right?
No.
Isn't that?
Nope. It's the Beths and Car Seat Headrest doing Postal Service covers.
Oh my God.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I need that. I need that.
It is on. I checked before. It's on Spotify, so I assume it's on all your streaming networks.
Oh,
I haven't had.
shit.
I literally haven't had a chance to listen to it yet, but
it's so pretty. Can I see it again?
Yeah, it just came today.
Wow.
So.
That's cool.
Nice.
Yeah, and so this is a limited run, so you can find on Sub Pop if you want to get yours. I think it was $9, which is a lot
Excellent.
for a 7-inch, but
That is a lot for a 7-inch, but
Well,
worth it.
yeah. So
I did listen to those covers. They're fucking great.
are they good? I haven't had a chance to listen to them yet. I know they came out a couple
Yeah.
days ago, and I was kind of waiting to listen to it on vinyl. So anyway,
Cool.
those are my headlines. Or sorry,
Nice.
whatever
Sweet.
plug.
Headlights. Yeah.
Yeah,
We'll call 'em that.
the same. Yeah.
Headlights.
Smith. But headlights.
Yeah, don't have a lot,
Coming
but
your way.
I know we watched a ton of stuff over the holidays, so it's but I was kind of going back to what was memorable. I think you both had seen this possibly even before the last podcast, but I did finally watch the Holdovers.
Yeah.
Love that movie. Love that movie. It was not what I was expecting at all. I really didn't look into it at all, but it's just a great I don't know what to compare it to. It's just
It's a great Christmas movie.
It is a great Christmas movie. It's a very different kind of Christmas movie, but it is a great Christmas movie. I hope that it did. I hope that it got the attention it deserved because it was.
Paul Giamatti is fucking gonna get an Oscar for it.
Well, I mean, so
shit you not. He's winning it all.
the two leads.
And Divine too.
Yeah, didn't the two leads both won Golden Globes for it?
Oh, did they really?
I mean, they're projected to win the Oscar for sure. Yeah.
It was really just kind
super
of a nice,
excited about it.
Yeah, just really, really good storytelling movie. Just loved it.
Oh, by the way, just a really stupid thing, real fast. Best showed me a picture of Paul Giamatti sitting after the Golden Globes, sitting at an In-N-Out Burger, eating a burger.
I did see that. Yeah.
Fucking love that guy. I am the biggest Paul Giamatti fan ever. I fucking love that guy. He's the best.
Anyway, sorry, go ahead, Ben.
That was part of his. Sorry, real quick. That was part of his acceptance speech the other night. What was it? Critics' Choice Awards on Saturday or Sunday. He was like, I didn't know I'd be getting this, and I didn't know I'd be going viral for eating a cheeseburger. Loved it.
Also, just to touch on it, we did finally watch Leave the World Behind. I liked it. Like it was, it's just kind of all over the place. Again, it's one of those it just does a really good job of just keeping you in suspense for the relatively long, but two and a half hour almost run times. It's a longer movie, but just kind of very, I don't know. Like I did enjoy it. Like it wasn't again what I expected, but it was just kind of very, very interesting film. So again, both these are free now. So watch them. They're free, people. I mean, free provided you have the appropriate streaming services. But
yes,
in this economy. And then probably my favorite show that we watched, and I think this just actually came out last weekend, was a new Netflix series called Boy Swallows Universe.
I have that on my queue. Is it good?
It's very good. It's kind of
cool.
not to give too much away, but it kind of is a kind of a coming of age story about this young kid in Australia who's kind of raised by kind of in sort of a drug environment with his parents, and it's very good. It is. I just really enjoyed it. It's very stylized, just good stuff. So it's gotten excellent reviews. We just kind of jumped in, and I think we finished the thing in like a couple days because I think it's only like 7 or 8 episodes. So if I think that's one of the new things out there. So that's what Smith watched. So
amazing.
There you go. It's good stuff.
You said that was on Netflix, Matt?
On Netflix, yeah. Boy Swallows Universe. And apparently it was based on a novel by the same name, which I had not heard of. But no, really, really enjoyed it. It's kind of actiony. Like it's kind of like it's not just like moaning about like the woes of life. Like there's shootings and stuff. So it's kind of all over the place. But really, really liked it.
Cool.
And
hell yeah!
I just wrote it down.
All I had. I was going to ask, did either of you watch the Emmys?
I did.
You did. Okay.
I got Tina Fey and Amy Poehler doing their bit, but other than that, I did watch the Sunny in Philadelphia guys bemoan their fact that, but other than that, I didn't watch it.
Okay.
So go ahead.
Yeah, I did not watch it, so I was just curious.
I did. I thought that Anthony Anderson did a great job. He was a phenomenal host. It kind of bummed me out seeing the reunions because they did this whole thing because it was a 75th year. So they did like a Cheers reunion. They did a Martin reunion. God damn, thumbs up. I'm going to start talking with my hands. and a bunch of others, but like the Cheers one kind of bummed me out because they all looked really old. And I missed the Sopranos one, Smith.
Oh, they did one. Oh, they
But
okay.
it had
All right.
Lorraine Bronco in it, and then they had a what was it, Michael Imperioli? Is that his
Oh, yeah,
name?
yeah, yep.
And they were in her office, so they brought in like some of the set or recreated, certain parts of this, sets of these, iconic television shows. And they had Tony Soprano, like a picture of him, James Gandolfini, which was sweet.
Yeah.
But I have to say, because Joe Coy, he did not do well hosting the Golden Globes. I think we have all gone down the rabbit hole of people slamming him. That guy's not going to get offered a job to host anything anytime soon again. Chelsea Handler did a great job hosting the Critics' Choice Awards. She actually threw some shade at him because they used to date.
Yeah.
And I loved it because Joe Coy shat all over his writers and basically blamed them for not being funny.
Yeah, that was
not good.
Which was bad.
Oh,
It's
no.
like, dude, you're bombing, but then you just threw everybody under the bus. You're kind of a dick. Like, that's not okay.
Yeah.
But Anthony Anderson, it was fun. Like, he kept it he's a really great host. He did this thing with his mom, his actual mom, sat in the audience. And if people were going too long, she'd yell, baby, baby. Speed it up. Like, that part was really funny. Like, there were certain things where I was like, that's really good. And he was, I liked him a lot. I'd love to see him host again.
I suspect it's on Hulu, so we're gonna try to watch it.
Yeah, you should try to watch it. I liked it.
Couldn't miss that game last night.
I know.
Yeah,
that game is. I felt bad for Rob McElhenney because he was there. Sonny did a whole bit. I'm not going to ruin it, but it was really funny. And he was there in the audience, and Caitlin took a picture of him watching the Eagles game at the fucking Emmys.
Funny.
Poor guy. Sorry they lost. Sorry to Jason Kelsey, by the way, for that, because he's
Well, he retired today, so
yeah.
All
right. I watched a lot of shit, so I'm just gonna run through this stuff real quick. Because I got sick over the holiday, and so that's all I could really do. The first thing I watched was Maestro on Netflix, still on Netflix. Bradley Cooper stars in it as Leonard Bernstein. Carey Mulligan plays his wife. Is very well done. I've read and I've heard a lot about Bradley Cooper as a director, and some of it I think is like borderline torture. Like, he doesn't have chairs on set because he calls them energy suckers, and like there's shit like that. It's so stupid. And a lot of people were like talking shit on him because of the prosthetic nose that he wears in the movie. So whatever, I still really loved it. So check it out. There's also a documentary on Leonard Bernstein on the Max. So I would watch that, and then if you're unfamiliar, and then watch Maestro. And then right after I watched Maestro, I needed a palate cleanser because I cried a lot, and so I watched Jackass Forever because I still hadn't watched it.
Wow.
I know, I went on the other end of the spectrum. I was like, where can I go that won't make me tear up at all?
Johnny Knoxville.
That was it. That was it. I saw way too much penis that I never thought like. Just penis getting destroyed in the worst ways. Laugh so hard. Those guys are like, I mean, they're great now, and they have younger guys that are doing a bunch of stupid shit, but still very enjoyable to me because I'm a 12-year-old. I love Johnny Knoxville. I always will. So check that out. That's on Amazon Prime. And then also on Amazon Prime is Saltburn. Have you guys watched that yet?
I don't know.
Are you going to watch it?
Couldn't like get enough.
I probably will watch it just to see what this big twist is or whatever.
Yeah,
there's some gross parts. That's all I'm gonna say. But I liked it a lot. The soundtrack is fucking great. It's one of the best soundtracks for sure. So yeah, I like that a lot. And then watch Dream Scenario with our patron saint Nick Cage, which that was actually quite good. I like that a lot. Definitely takes a dark turn.
That's on my list.
Yeah,
I got it queued up.
You got to watch it. I think you guys will both like it. And then watched Anatomy of a Fall. They're up for a bunch of international film awards and stuff like that. That is very good. It's a French film. The writing in it is phenomenal. That is one you'll have to rip off something or rent it. I think it's like $5.99 right now. But really like that a lot. And then I also watched The Curious Case of Natalia Grace. And I know Smith did too.
Yeah, we did too.
This is a soft plug. It's almost like an unplug, but I want everybody else to be tortured by it. Tice, did you get into it at all?
So tomorrow, people are coming over our house, and I have to go downstairs. So I was going to watch it tomorrow morning, or at least as far as I could watch anyway. I watched the first 20 minutes of it when it first came out, and then I watched the first 15 minutes of it after you said to watch it, and I was like, I don't know about these people, but I want to be able to. I want to be able to hang, so that means sometimes I have to watch something I don't necessarily want to watch. So yeah, so I am don't no spoilers.
We'll save it.
If I
to
haven't
talk
watched
about
it by
together.
if I haven't watched by next week, then you guys go ahead.
Okay. All I got to say is I want to give Smith props because I was texting him on the side because I did not want to ruin anything for you, Tyson.
Mhm.
And because him and Kathy decided to rewatch the first season, right, Smith, and then watch the second season.
Yeah.
And he was a little bit ahead of me. And your comment about it turning into a Maury Povich thing was like perfect because it does. It totally does in season 2, and that's all I'm going to say.
Well, see, that's a little bit more like I would enjoy. I think maybe I don't know.
Well, I think you'll enjoy the second season a lot more.
So
although I liked the first season a lot more. That was more substantial.
Well, let me ask one question.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Let me ask one question, just because So the tagline for the second season is that Natalie speaks. Did she not get interviewed in the first season?
No.
Oh,
No,
she didn't get no. She didn't.
No,
So the second season, she actually tells her side of the story.
Yes.
Is that the deal?
Yes.
Wow, they got through a whole season without having her talk?
Yeah.
Okay. Now I'm kind of interested again. All right.
Yeah, and she talks a lot, and then you're just kind of, I'm not going to,
Yeah, just you have to live it. Like that's it. You just gotta live it. There's no way to But I will not to ruin anything, Dustin. But I was there. They just when you kind of think like, oh, that's the story. They do pull a fast one on you right at the end.
At the very end, like the literal
tail
end.
Yes. Yeah,
I was like, "Are you shitting me? This is what I wanted the entire second season."
Exactly right. You're just waiting for something to change, and then they do, and it's kind of like I think that's at the heart of it. Is I think they're just shitty documentarians, and I feel like I'm being I feel like I'm being abused. Like I think
I do too. I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to take it back. The first season is a plug. Second season, unplug. Not great.
If you only watch one season, you're probably okay. Yeah. Not a lot's going to change for you. But the first season is fucking weird. Like I will.
But Tyson has to watch the second season in its entirety because we're making him.
Because we did, yes.
Yeah.
Well, that's Try. Yeah. Oh, all right.
There's one guy in it in particular. You'll be like, "What is wrong? What is this fucking wow?"
This is like Nick Cage rules. I love it. Okay. All right.
Nick Cage could probably play one of the people in it. I'm not gonna lie, for real.
Oh God.
All right. I will. Yeah.
Okay. He's got the freak out, right? And then last plug is there's a new single by Sleater-Kinney called Untidy Creature, and it's quite good. And they are touring this year, and I know Tyson has tickets. I have tickets. Smith, I don't know if you got tickets yet, but I'm really excited about it.
Yeah, me too.
I haven't seen them live yet.
I've never seen them live, and I don't know. I could have seen them live. Well, no, I couldn't have. But they were opening for Sonic Youth, and they were opening for Sonic Youth and Pearl Jam on tour. Sonic Youth did a secret show that we got to see in Florida at that little club that we used to work at or play at, and there was rumors that Sleater-Kinney was going to open for them, but they didn't show up. So anyway, I'm excited. I wish they had the original drummer back, but I'm past it. I'm over it. It's okay.
I did see her when they her and Carrie Janet, wasn't it her name?
Yeah,
Janet,
Janet,
isn't her name Janet?
Yeah.
They played with Wild Flag.
Yeah.
That band that was around for maybe a year or two. But other than that, yeah, I want to see Corin. Her voice is fucking amazing. So really excited about it.
Yeah, no, super excited. Yeah, so should be fun. Going to see Cake as well. That should be fun.
Yeah.
I know. God damn it.
That's all right. Hey, look, this is the year. Sally was like, this is the year I'm going to go see stand up, and I'm like, well, this is the year I'm going to see everything, because I sat around and saw nothing.
As you should. Yeah.
So, I'll be so sick of seeing shows at the end of this year.
This is the year that we finally fucking go to Indianapolis and hang out with Smith at his house.
Yeah.
Also, Resolution.
Yeah, awesome.
So,
I'm still trying to find a show. It's
it doesn't matter.
You got time, buddy.
We'll find something. We'll find something to go to. Yeah.
All right, guys. My back is starting to really hurt.
Okay. Sure.
All right. Bye, guys. Always a pleasure.
Hey, we'll see you guys sooner than later. All right.
Yes.
Absolutely. All right. Thanks, guys.
Bye, guys.